Hello, welcome to Temple Baptist Church in Poplar, Bluff, Missouri. We're going to have our devotional today. We're going to be in Luke chapter 21. We're going to look at the first 4 verses there. When you find those, if you open your Bible and are looking at that, you'll find it's the widow's 2 mites, how much she give. And we'll just go ahead and read verses 1 through 4. And he looked up and saw the rich put their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also a certain poor widow putting in 2 mites. So he said, Truly I say unto you that the poor widow has put in more than all. For all these out of the abundance have put in offerings for God, but she out of the poverty put in all the livelihood that she had. Excuse me. I'll start our devotional off with a little question this morning. If we were live, you could answer. If you were here, you could answer. You can answer anyhow. You don't have to answer audibly. But do you ever pick up pennies? When you walk by and see a penny laying on the ground, do you pick that up? A lot of people do. I do most times, depending on how I feel at the moment sometimes, or how far down it is to the ground anymore. But anyhow, a lot of people won't do that. Well, a penny's not worth anything. Why would I want to pick up a penny? Well, if you pick up enough pennies, it'll soon add up, doesn't it? But but it's just the fact that how we react to that, whether we pick up pennies. If we see a dollar bill down there, we're going to get that probably, and bigger denominations of bills, we find that. But sometimes a penny, I just don't want to mess with that. So, but in today's passage, we have a widow who has a coin that the others in the first century, in her time, they considered this insignificant. It's not worth anything. Her mite were worth 4 less than a day's wages. It wasn't even worth what they would call then a day's wages, and they got paid daily. But it was 4 less than a day's wage. Yet in faith, she brings this offering to God anyway. All right, to me, it's insignificant. Penny, you pick up a penny, you think, I've got a penny now. I got a penny. I'll take it home, put it with all the other pennies I have. It's not really going to do much, but the woman, she brought her offering to God anyhow, even though it's just this little mite that she has, and she give what little she had. And when Jesus saw her gift, he esteemed her publicly. He's speaking publicly here, I think now. He said, Truly I say unto you, the poor widow has put in more than all. He's telling all these rich folks here that are, putting in out of abundance, I guess you could say, and some of them, I think, were putting in for show. So well, look here, what I'm putting in. I'm putting in this big bill in the offering plate as it comes around. You kind of want to wave that a little bit and then toss it in the offering plate, so at least somebody knows it. But he declared her mite was worth more than any of the abundance that was cast around her. And so, when we give sacrificially, she's given all she had. She didn't have any more than this mite to give. She's given all that she's have. She's given by faith. And so when we give sacrificially, I'm not talking so much about money, but I'm talking sometimes about time, our energy, our resources. If we give sacrificially to God, we can rest assured that He sees them. He sees. Hopefully we're not doing anything that we're saying is that we're doing for God, trying to let man see us do something great. I want to let you see me put this big offering in the offering plate. No, that's not what God is talking about here. We can give sacrificially of our time, but He values what man overlooks. Or may overlook that penny when we walk by it, may overlook it and say, it doesn't measure, it doesn't have any measure worth by human standards, but instead, He sees our hearts, and it's pleasing when we give in humility. Humbly give what we have to Jesus. Might not be much, may not be more than a mite, but we're giving it out of the goodness of our heart. We're giving it because we want to give it to God. We're working doing things. We're spending our time, our energy, our resources, whatever it is. We're spending that because we want to please God, not man. God, treasures and commands our gift in faith, don't he? What we see as little is significant when willfully and joyfully given to him. So this mite, it's all she had, but she didn't say, I give this here, I'm going to be broke. She didn't say that. A lot of us would have said, well, if I give this $10, just use that, in the offering this Sunday, I'm not going to have enough money for the week. That's not the way we give. She gives sacrificially. She gives without, joyfully give to him. God can use whatever we provide when we provide it with the goodness of our heart, with no intentions of doing anything other than just giving it to God. Have you give your life to God? He values that as much as anything, as a soul. Come to Jesus if you don't know him. Come and be a part of our services here at Temple. We meet on Sunday mornings. Our first service is 8 o'clock. Then we have our Sunday school classes beginning at 9. Our second service is at 10. And then we have Sunday night service at 6 and Wednesday night at 7. Come and be a part of those services. May God bless you is our prayer.